Hi guys, welcome to another video. So I am doing a pretty big book haul right now. These are books that I've been collecting since the last book haul from thrift stores. And there's quite a few here and quite a few that I'm excited about. Also, do you like my little Christmas lights? I didn't really decorate my bookshelves for Christmas like I know a lot of booktubers do, but I put lights up, so yay. But anyway, let's get started. I don't know how I should do this. Well, let's start with this one. This one I found, this one I found at the thrift store. So when I buy books at the thrift store, I definitely don't pay more than $2 would be on the high end of a thrifted book, in my opinion. So, Brizinger. I found this one because I had, let me go get it for you. Because do you remember me hauling this book? This is the first two books in the series in one edition. So I knew that I had the first two, and I think Brizinger is the fourth one, maybe? And so anyways, I was just like, well, just to finish the collection, at least I would have 3 out of 4 and then be on the lookout for the third one. So I bought Brizinger, and then just a couple days ago I was at the thrift store and they were having a pretty big sale on books, and I found, weirdly enough, all of them except Brizinger. So it worked out really good. So I picked up these ones. They're in really good shape. So they're a little bit different edition, but from the spines they'll go really well. So obviously Errand, Eldest, and Inheritance. So now that I have all of them in their own editions, I will be re-thrifting this one. So I'll be unhauling the 2-in-1 book. So that was cool. Now I have the full set in same to similar editions. Next, let's go with this one. Secret Keepers by Trenton Lee Stewart. This one, I believe I heard about this one. Ooh, bit of a damage there. I heard about this one on BookTube, and something about the way the person described it sounded really intriguing, and so I put it on my Goodreads to be read shelf. And when I saw this at the thrift store, something about it was like, I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with this book, and I'm thinking I put it on my to be read list. And then I looked onto Goodreads, and sure enough, there it was. So I was like, okay, I know it's on there. I know I wanted to read it. Let's pick it up, because it was real cheap on sale. Next, we'll go with this one. I'm trying to go big books to small compact books. This one, Dream Thief by Stephen R. Lawhead. I believe Stephen R. Lawhead is a Christian author, I'm pretty sure. And the back, the thing that kind of sold me on it was, so it's a science fiction book, I think, space and stuff. And part of the synopsis in there, it says, okay, here's a science fiction on the epic scale of Dune in Asimov's Foundation series, yet as grounded in the Christian worldview as C.S. Lewis' space trilogy. So that sentence all by itself was like, I gotta read this book. So yeah, pretty looking forward to that. Next, where do we go next? This one. Okay, I haven't read this one, and honestly, I didn't have too much interest in reading this one until I saw this cover. This is a collector's edition of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is such a beautiful edition. I couldn't leave it there, and it was I don't know, $1.50 or something, $2. So I have Pride and Prejudice, so now if I'm ever in the urge to read a classic that I haven't read, I've got one. Plus I love the movie, so I've heard lots of good things about the book on BookTube, so I mean I have high hopes. So let's go with Against All Odds by Irene Hannon. There are I think 3 books in here that my cousin was unhauling from her collection and she offered to me, and this was one of them. So all I know is it's the first book in the Heroes of Quantico series. So when a deadly threat turns personal, can the FBI's finest protect her? It sounds kind of like a stereotypical Christian FBI hostage witness romance. It kind of sounds typical, but why not give it a shot? Who knows? It might surprise me. So got this one. And then I don't have it with me right now, but it's called The Bridge by Karen Kingsbury, I think. Yes. So I'll just put a picture up. That one is also from my cousin, and that one I'm reading right now, but by the time you see this I will have read it already because Christmas. This one is I think the last one that came from her stash. So this is House by Frank Peretti and Ted Decker. So these two have kind of like a strange writing style. They're both Christians, and they just, I think their books are just strange. I've only read one Ted Decker, but from what I hear and the synopses of their books, they're just kind of weird. And I know when this book was first released, it was super popular. So I figured I will give this one a shot. The next one, let's do a few of these. Okay, so this one has a little bit of a backstory. This is Walt Disney's The Sword in the Stone. It's a vintage children's book, like it's The Sword in the Stone, but it's authentically vintage. What was the year? 63. This book was published in 63. And this book I kind of bought for my husband because one of his favorite Disney animated classics is The Sword in the Stone. So I thought I would pick this one up and add it to our collection. The next one is also a vintage one. It is The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood by Howard Pyle. This one, let's see what year. Like, so vintage. I just think it's really neat. This one is 65. Yeah, I just picked it up because Robin Hood is so widely known. However, I've never actually heard the original tale of Robin Hood, so I don't know how far off all the modern retellings, I guess, are from the original. So it'd be kind of cool to check that out. Okay, so this one, The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This one, for some reason, like, it's not a new book. It's from, let's see, 2006. But for some reason on BookTube, it's kind of like making a comeback, I guess. I've been hearing about it, and I don't know a lot about it. I don't have high hopes for it, just because of content. I'm not sure what kind of content is in here, whether it be language or I don't know what's in here. So that'll be interesting to give a shot while everyone else in BookTube seems to be reading it. The next ones, they're all smaller books that I have, I think. So I'll just get rid of the boring one because it's not a fiction book. This is the Pocket Oxford Italian Dictionary. This one I couldn't leave because this is like in mint condition. It's English, it's Italian to English, English to Italian, English to Italian. And I'm trying to teach myself Italian right now, and I thought this is like super handy to have on hand when I am like in the zone trying to learn words. And there's also, I think there's a section in here about grammar as well, so that's helpful. Okay, so the rest of these are fiction. So this one, look at this, Jean Valjean. This is like just a black hardcover, nothing else on it, just Jean Valjean. Yeah, so you might remember me talking about in a different video about wanting to collect books that I remember from growing up, and this is definitely a book that I read in school, and I remember quite a lot about it, and I don't think I hated it like when we were reading it, so it'd kind of be interesting to give it another shot. Like, the font is not super tiny, so it's okay. This one's from 35. That's old. Nope. First published 35. Shucks. This one is 62. A lot of my vintage books are from the 60s, it looks like. But kind of happy to have that one in my, not only my childhood books, but also my classics. So this one, Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. This is another like mint condition mass market paperback. And if you have been following me, you know that I've been reading The Assassin's Apprentice, what's it called? Royal Assassin, and now I'm in the middle of Assassin's Quest. That's the first trilogy by Robin Hobb, and I think she has like, I don't know, like she's got numerous trilogies following the same story. So this is the Tawny Man trilogy. I don't know where, I think this might be like, I don't think this is the next trilogy. I think that one might be, I don't know. But anyway, this one is Fool's Errand, book 1. So apparently I'm going to keep going with this because I've been really enjoying it. So Ted Dekker 3. So there's another Ted Dekker book. This one I really wanted to get to for Books and Lala's Buzzword Readathon, because you had to read a book that had a number in the title, and I really wanted to get to this one, but I just couldn't get enough books in that week. I guess I'm not a fast reader or something, whatever. But I'm kind of interested in reading this one. I know the Number series and the Color series by Ted Dekker are fairly popular in the Christian fiction world, so looking forward to that one. Okay, so this one, I think I basically got this one because I needed another one to get the deal or something. This is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. So I'm sure everyone knows A Wrinkle in Time, right? Like, it's pretty popular, but I never read this one in school, and I haven't watched the movie or anything, so I don't know too much about it. And I'm okay kind of going into this one blind. So I'll be putting that one with classics as well. I got 2 more in the classics, or not really classics, I don't know, my childhood books, not classics. So Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott O'Dell. Guys, I've been looking for this one probably for like since I started BookTube. I've been wanting to find this one. And I finally found it at our local library sale. And I flipped through it and I had no idea that it was in first person, so obviously I used to be able to read first person books, something happened. But, so, yeah, I'm really happy to have this one. I remember like a couple of scenes, but otherwise I kind of don't remember at all what happens. So I'm looking forward to reading this one again. I think I read this one in grade, I want to say 5, I think. So there's that one, and then Hatchet by Gary Paulson. This one was also from my childhood. I believe this one I read in grade 6, and it is also in first person, so I don't know what the deal is with that, like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I have this one, and I don't know if I am just gonna have this one to have it in my collection, or if I'm actually gonna attempt to reread it again. We'll see, I guess, what my mood brings. 3 more to go. So we've got Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman. This is I think you'd consider this middle grade, maybe children's, I'm not sure, but it's very illustrated and really cute, and I was recommended by one of my friends who has 2 young children that this one was a fun book. So I've never read any Neil Gaiman before. I'm not really interested in his adult fiction. Just the themes in his book don't really interest me. But this one looks really cute, and upon the recommendation of my friend, I'm going to give that one a try. Okay, so this one, Beyond the Shadows by Brent Weeks. You guys, this is book 3 in the Night Angel trilogy that I have been collecting. Seems like every book haul that I have found the next one in the series. So I really got to read some Brent Weeks next year because I have a whole full trilogy of his already and I haven't read it yet. So let's get into that one. Hey, and it's not in first person. We are all happy. Lastly, Zoo by James Patterson. This one I bought for more, I don't know what the reason would be, but my husband and I watched Zoo, the TV series, and we really enjoyed it. And I saw this in the library book sale and I was like, come on, I didn't know it was originally a book. So yeah, I picked it up because of that, I guess. It would be really interesting to read it and see if there are any differences from the TV series because we really enjoyed the TV series. So I guess we'll see. And I also don't know the content that James Patterson writes. I think he's a fairly popular author. Oh yeah, look at this. New York Times, Chicago Tribune, like all those. So apparently he's a really big author. So I don't know what kind of content he writes. We will have to find out. So let's see if I can do this without a big avalanche. Oh boy. Dun, dun, dun. So those are the books that I got in this last haul, and I'm really excited about them, and let me know if you've read any of them. And yeah, let's chat books in the comments. I hope you guys all have a lovely day, and see you in the next one. Bye!